Today, ladies and gentlemen, personalities, we are dealing with simultaneous equations today. There are many simultaneous equations, but today we are going to deal with solving simultaneously when you have a quadratic and a linear equation. So for example, if you've got something like this, let's say they say solve simultaneously between, and then they say y is equal to minus x squared plus 2x plus 3 and y is equal to minus 2x plus 3. So how do you go about and solve simultaneous in those kind of equations? But before we even go there, ladies and gentlemen, personalities, I would like you to note that, okay, this could be a question that comes in question 1. This is one of question 1 questions in the grade 12 and grade 11 paper 1 paper, okay, of mathematics. Okay, so please pay attention to this so that you can master this part of the work, so that you can be able to make sure that you get all of these marks when you've been given. So how do you go about solving simultaneously here? So the first thing that you're going to do, okay, solution. Okay, so you're going to take one of these equations and make it equation 1. So you say y is equal to minus x squared, you can take any, it doesn't really matter, plus 2x plus 3, and then they say this is equation number 1. And then the second one is y is equal to minus 2x plus 3, and then call this one equation number 2. Can you see? You've got equation 1 and you've got equation 2. Okay, luckily in both equations y is a subject of a formula. So what you are then going to do is you are going to substitute equation 2 in equation 1. Okay, so where there is y in equation 1, you're gonna put equation 2. Okay, so in equation 1 you've got y, which is equal to minus 2x squared plus 2x plus 3, and then in a place of y you then put this, and then you then have minus 2x plus 3 is equal to, okay, what did I write here? I wrote nonsense. This is not minus 2, it's minus x squared. Okay, sorry for that mistake. Okay, so it's minus 2x plus 3 is equal to minus x squared plus 2x plus 3. Okay, and then what is the next thing that you need to do? You need to take all numbers and put them on the left hand side, and then remain with 0 on the right hand side. So how do we go about do that? So when you take this x and you bring it this side, you're going to have x squared, and then this to this side is going to be minus 2x, and then this to this side is going to be minus 3. Okay, and then but now you already had this on this side, which is minus 2x plus 3, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 0. Okay, and then so does x squared has a like term here? No, it doesn't. So it's going to remain as it is. So you've got x squared, and then what about minus 2x? Does it have a like term? Yes, it has a like term. So you've got minus 2x, which is minus 4x. Okay, and then what about 3? Minus 3 plus 3. Okay, that will then give you what? 0. So this is going to be equal to, okay, and then using normal laws of solving this is as a normal quadratic now, you then have x, and then x minus 4 equal to 0, and then the x values is x equal to 0 or x is equal to 4. Okay, so you've got the values of x now. So now when you have found the values of x, then you need to substitute them in either this equation or this equation. It doesn't matter, the answer will be right anyway. Okay, your answer will be right anyway. And then so you just need to substitute them so that you can find the value of y. Okay, so how do you pick the equation that you're going to substitute to? You pick the easiest one to make your life easy. Remember, we are mathematicians. We are simplifying lives. We're not complicating them. So we're going to take the easiest one. We're going to take this one. So what are we going to do? We are going to substitute x into equation what? Equation 2. Okay, so what do we do? Okay, let's start with x is equal to 0. So we're going to say y is equal to minus 2, and then there's 0 plus 3. And then what are you going to get? You're going to get 3. Okay, you are going to get 3. That tells you that when you solve simultaneous, you get x. Therefore, x is equal to 0, and y is equal to what? Is equal to 3. Or now you do the same thing for this equation. You've got y, which is equal to minus 2, and then you put 4 now. Minus, right? And then this is equal to what? Minus 2 times 4 is minus 8. Minus 8 minus 4 is minus what? 8 going, okay. No, it's not minus 4. What is it? It's plus 3. So minus 8 plus 3 is going to be what? It's going to be minus 5. Minus 5. So you've got x, which is equal to 4, and y, which is equal to minus 5. So you can actually express this as a point and say you've got a point where x is 0, and then y is 3, and then you've got what? You've got x, which is 4, and then y, which is minus 5. Okay, so when you solve simultaneously, you get this point. You don't necessarily need to express them in both ways. One is enough. Okay, one is more than enough. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how you solve for x and y. Now you've got the value of x and the value of y. You can then go ahead and test. And guys, please, I beg you, ladies and gentlemen, do test your solutions. Let's just test this one, just for argument's sake, so that we can see how we go about testing our solutions. Because if our solutions are not right, then you'll get wrong answers, and then we'll lose marks. We don't want to lose marks, guys, because we need marks. Okay, so let's test. Let us test if this one is working. Let's test x is equal to 0, and y is equal to what? 3. Now guys, in this particular case, we must test both equations, because we've got 2 equations, remember. So we can't test one, must test both of them. Okay, let's start with the first one. Let's start with equation 1. Y is equal to minus x squared plus 2x plus 3. So what do I do? In a place of y, I need to put this. In a place of x, I need to put this. And then the left-hand side must be equal to right-hand side to show my answer being correct. Okay, so in a place of y is 3. And then minus, and then 0 squared plus 2, 0 plus 3. So we've got 3 is equal to 3, which means the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side, which means my answer is what? It's true, but it's true for this equation. let's test for the second one. Okay, the second one is y is equal to minus 2x plus 3. In the place of y we put 3, and then we put in the place of x we put 0. Minus 2, 0 plus 3, you get 3 equal to 3 left hand side equal to right hand side, which means for both this equation my solution is true. Okay, but this time around, guys, you don't necessarily need to check it. When you check these things, you can just check it with a calculator. You don't necessarily have to write it down. Okay, it's not part of the solution. It's just for your own assurance to make sure that everything is in order. Okay, but other than that, you don't have to. Okay, now you've tested one solution for both. Just for argument's sake, I'm not going to test the rest. I'm not going to test for this one, just so that you can see. Now, so I've proved that this solution works for both equations. Okay, now let me test this one. So I'm testing what? X equal to x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 5. C. Okay, let's test the first equation. Y is equal to minus x squared plus 2x plus 3, right? And then so in a place of y we put what? We put this was minus 5. You must be very careful, guys. You must also be very careful. So minus 5 is equal to minus, and then in the place of x we put 4 plus 2, and then this 4 plus 3. Okay, there's this squared here. Okay, so minus 5. So okay, guys, just to save time, put this thing on the calculator literally as it is, and then when you put it on the calculator, then what you will find out is that alright, so guys, let's say they say solve for x and y in y is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 4 and y minus x is equal to 4. Okay, I would like you to note here, guys, that they are saying solve for x and y. So when you are solving simultaneously, they can ask these things in different ways. Sometimes they can just say solve simultaneously and then they give the equation. Sometimes they can say solve for x and y. That means exactly the same thing. That means you must solve simultaneously. Sometimes they will just say find the point of intersection. So all of those things are the same things, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, they are exactly the same things. It's just different ways of calling them in their context. Okay, so what do you then do? Right, so here you've got, you will have equation 1 again. So y is equal to, this is a solution. Okay, so we've got y is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 4, and then this is equation number 1, right? This is equation number 1, and then take this equation as it is. So it's y minus x, right? It's y minus x is equal to 4. Now this is equation number 2. Okay, but guys, we are too lazy to actually substitute this equation here. So what we're going to do, because we just want to do this, what we've been doing earlier, we want to have y in both equations to be substituted of formula. So what do we then do? We then say y, and then we take this x to the side and then say x plus 4. So this x was negative here. So when you take it to the side, it becomes what? It becomes positive. Okay. Now this then becomes equation number 3. Okay. Aha. When you've got these things, now things are very nice. You then say equation 1. You equate it to equation 2. Okay. So, or you just say, yeah, we can, or you can say equate equation 1 to equation 2. It's the same thing. All right. So you end up with x squared plus 5x plus 4 is equal to x plus 4. And then you take all the numbers to this side because you want to remain with 0, so that life will be so much easier for you. Okay, so you end up with something like this. You got x squared plus 5x plus 4, and then minus x minus 4 equal to 0. Right? Right, so we put an equal sign here. And then x squared is just x squared because there is no term. That is the right term of it. And then what about 5x? 5x minus x is going to be what? It's going to be plus 4x. Right? And then 4 minus 4. Oh, it's 0. Okay. You don't have to add 0 here. Okay. So it's x. Guys, we're just lucky that we got a nice function here. Sometimes you can get a terrible function and then you have to find factors and all of those kind of things. And then so in this case, you've got x plus 4, which is equal to 0, and then you've got x equal to 0, or x is equal to minus 4. Okay. And then you substitute. Guys, another thing that I want to emphasize, please make sure, ladies and gentlemen, personalities, that when you are solving simultaneously, you must always tell a marker what is it that you are currently doing. You don't want a marker to guess what is it that you are doing. Tell them exactly what you're doing. For example, here I'm substituting x in equation what? I'm going to take the easiest one, in equation 3. In equation 3. Okay, guys, I made a mistake here. I can see it's equation 1 and equation 3, not equation 2. Okay, sorry for that. All right. Okay, so I end up with this one, and then now I'm substituting x, the x values that are found there in equation. Okay, so how do I do that? I say y is equal to x plus 4, and then I put x is equal to 0, so I will have 0 plus 4, and then y is equal to what? So my y is going to be equal to 4. So if my x is equal to 0, then my y, so if x is equal to 0, so my solutions are x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 4. Okay, let me test this one. So I have y is equal to x plus 4, and then minus 4. Okay, and then when I have minus 4 plus 4, what happens? I then get 0. So my y is equal to 0. So in this case, x equal to minus 4, while my y is equal to 0. And I can go ahead and test it, but obviously there's no time for that. You can do that for yourself. Okay, you have solved simultaneously. So in this case, remember, you had to change an equation so that you can substitute it nicely. Sometimes you need that. Okay, yes, it's like when you are eating food. Sometimes you can buy a ready-made meal and then you can just eat. For example, if you buy an apple, you can just eat it as it is, but you can't buy a tin of fish and then just open your mouth and put it there. Ne? You have to open it and you need to clean it and you need to cook it and then you can eat it, you know. So same thing applies to maths. Okay, maths explains everything that life explains. Right. Okay, let's take the last one, ladies and gentlemen, and then close shop. Okay, so find the point of intersection between y is equal to minus x squared plus 4 and y is equal to x plus 2. Okay, guys, don't be terrified by those big English words. They simply find the point of intersection. It's simply solve for x and y. So don't be confused. All right, don't be confused, lovely people. Okay, now how do we do this? Okay, guys, we've got y as a subject of formula. Okay, we've been actually solving this kind of equations where you've got y being the subject of formula, but there is a method that I want to emphasize, that x can also be what? The subject of the formula. So I'm going to be using that in the solution. So solution, and I think this is the last solution, and then we close shop, and then I can go and drink my coffee and live happily ever after. All right, so you've got y, which is equal to minus x squared plus 4, which is equation what? Equation 1. And then secondly, you've got y, which is equal to x plus 2. And then so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 to this side. Okay, I'm going to take 2 to this side so that I will have x as a subject of formula. Okay, remember guys, I'm just doing this because I want to show you a method. But you don't necessarily, if you have such thing, you can just go straight and equate this equation and this equation, and then you can find whatever that you want to find. It doesn't really matter. You can get a solution and then you will be marked correct and then you'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to have x, which is equal to what? Equal to y minus 2. Right, so what am I going to do? And then we call it equation number 3. So you're going to substitution, you're going to substitute equation 3 in equation what? In equation 1. Here's another thing, guys, another thing I should remind you. You don't substitute in the equation that you can't take this and then you substitute into this equation, because this equation was made from this equation. So you can only substitute this equation in the equation that it wasn't made from. Right. All right. So you've got y in this case is equal to minus, in a place of x now, what do we have? You've got y minus 2. Okay. You've got y minus 2 and then squared plus 4. Okay. So just for your own sake, because I know some of you are very lazy to substitute by inspections, this is same as y minus 2 times y minus 2 plus 4. Okay, you just leave this minus as it is, and then you open bracket. Y times y is going to be y squared. Y times minus 2 is minus 2y. Y minus this, and then it's minus 2y again. And then minus 2 times minus 2 is going to be minus 4 and plus 4. Okay. And then there's still like terms here. So it's equal to minus. You still have y squared and then minus 4y and then minus 4 and then plus 4. And then you multiply this throughout so that you can get rid of what do they call these things? You get rid of brackets in line with BODMAS rule. So this times this is going to be minus y squared, and then this and this is going to be plus 4y, and then this minus, and then it's going to be plus 4, and then this plus 4 that is here. Okay, and then you still have this y that is here. Okay, so what do you do? Okay, you've got y, which is equal to minus y squared plus 4y, and then this is 8 plus 8. So you take all of this to this side. Remember, you want to remain with what? You want to remain with 0 on the right hand side. So when you take this minus y to this side, it's going to be y squared, and then minus 4y minus 8 plus this y that was here plus this y, and then is equal to 0. Oh, where is 8? Oh, yes, it's there. Okay, and then you end up with y squared minus, okay, minus 4y plus 3y. Then you get minus 3y. Okay, minus 3y, and then minus 8. Okay, is equal to what? Is equal to 0. All right, and then you just solve for y equal to 0. You got y here, you've got y here. Okay, you want the values of that can produce you minus 8. There are two alternatives. You've got what? You've got 8 times 1, and then you've got what? You've got 2 times 4. But when you add or you subtract this, can you get this one? You will definitely not get it. So that means that you can't find factors here. Okay, so what do you need to do? You need to use a quadratic what? You need to use a quadratic equation so that you can find solutions here. Okay, all right, guys, so we need to use the quadratic equation. Okay, but before we use the quadratic equation, ladies and gentlemen, personalities, let us look at our, because remember, things are very hectic in simultaneous equations. So it often happens that people do make mistakes. Maybe it's usually the sign or miscopying or all of those kind of things, and then when you check, you then find out that I made a mistake here, and then it becomes a problem. Okay, now let's check here if we didn't do anything like that, okay, before we even attempt, because we don't want to waste our time and try quadratic and then also find that there could be an easier way in which we could have done this. Okay, so let's check. All right, so let's start with our equation. Okay, we substituted correctly because we took this to the side, and then it was y minus. Okay, so we are sorted here. Okay, substitution here. Okay, that was sorted. Okay, let's look at this one. When we say, okay, the last one, when we say minus 2 times minus 2, guys, there's a mistake that we did there. Can you see that? We are supposed to have plus 4, and then this changes, this literally changes everything. Okay, so okay, we're going to need to fix it everywhere, but okay, let's not do that. Let's try and just continue it from here. So basically, if you end up having plus 4 here, because obviously the whole thing will change. So now what you will do is that you will then say, okay, now we've got y, which is equal to minus, and then you've got okay, you've got y squared, and then minus 4y, and then plus 4, and then there's this plus 4 on the side. Okay, and then this gives you nothing other than you've got y, which is equal to, then when you multiply here, you will have minus y squared plus 4y, and then you have minus 4. You've got minus 4 plus 4. Guys, can you see? See what is happening here? things get cancelled, which is a nice thing, by the way. Okay, so what happened? You will then have y is equal to minus y squared plus 4y. Okay, so you take this to this side so that you can have 0 on the left hand side. So you end up with y squared minus 4y, right? Y squared minus 4y plus y, which is equal to 0. And then you end up with y squared minus 3y, which is equal to 0. Okay. And then what will happen here? You will then have y and then y minus 3 equal to 0. You've got y equal to 0 or y which is equal to 3. Okay. So you need to find out the value of x. So what are you going to do? You're going to substitute y in equation 3. Equation 3 is x, which is equal to y minus 2. So the value of y is 0, 0 minus 2. So your solution will be minus 2. So x will be minus 2. So therefore, x is equal to minus 2, and then y is equal to 0. So that's your first solution, and then let's test the other one. So you've got x, which is equal to y minus 2, and then your x, which is equal to, and then you put 2 minus 2, and this will give you what? Is it 2? No, it's not 2, it's 3. Hey, let me not talk nonsense. So it's 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is what? Is 1. So the other value is x, which is equal to 1, and then y. Let's write it in the same way as this one. So x is equal to 1, and y is equal to what? Is equal to 3. Okay, that is our solution. So ladies and gentlemen, analysis, that is it. And so thank you very much. You see, guys, we can actually remove these hiccups, but I want to show you, let's be real, that when you are doing maths, things do happen. Okay, so things do happen. So here the same thing will happen. Things will happen and then things will get wrong, but you must always find a way to check if you are still on the right track. That means you must understand exactly what you are doing and then take it from there and then fix it. Okay, so let's take personal analysis. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is Mkondes Matsaba from Tebela Maths Club, a club that helps learners to understand mathematics. If there is a comment or something that you don't understand, or something that a mistake that we might have done somewhere that we did not correct, please alert us by commenting on the section below. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and have a lovely day and goodbye. Right.